Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Village Vision podcast, where community, collaboration, and care converge. I'm Dr. Crystal Morrison, and I'm honored to be your host on this incredible journey. As a firm believer in the power of a united village, I'm thrilled to bring you inspiring stories, research, and projects that break down barriers in child and family care. Through heartfelt conversations with experts, advocates, and those with lived experiences, we'll showcase the transformative impact of collective support. So join me on the Village Vision podcast as we explore the remarkable collaborations that lead to better outcomes, foster a sense of community, and inspire action to improve care for ourselves and everyone around us.
Yeah, very true.
Well, I definitely want to talk about all the things that you're doing right now with the Autism Dad. But before we go there, like I said, I want you to share with our listeners the why behind the work that you're doing. So go ahead. Can you share your personal story with us?
Yeah, sure. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. All three of my kids have been diagnosed as being autistic, and my oldest was diagnosed back in 2005. There wasn't anybody talking about this stuff back then. I mean, like the only references you had were Rain Man or, Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Really, that was the go-to.
Yep.
And, I started to struggle with all of the challenge and he regressed. So it was an unusual situation to begin. And what I found was that there wasn't negative feedback. It was parents saying like, "Oh my God, I thought I was the only one," or
"Sure,
you're the first person. I've been doing this for 10 years. You're the first person that I've met that's talking about this." And so it sort of helped me on two fronts. It allowed me to. It was very therapeutic for me. Say it like that. It was very therapeutic for me, and I was able to, put down my thoughts and what I was struggling with, and walk away from it. And it was sort of my way of processing everything in a healthier way. I think it was a healthier way. And it was also helping other people.
Right.
And so it became kind of a purpose for the pain thing where it's like, something positive can come out of what I'm struggling with by helping other people navigate things or just connecting and letting them know they're not alone.
Honestly, going through the meltdowns that we're trying to survive, and I say trying to survive, and you just wasn't a lot of resources, not only on the professional side, getting therapy and support, but even on the parent side. It just wasn't there, right?
Yeah. It was a vacuum.
Total vacuum.
Yeah. There was just nothing. And it was really, and that makes it scarier. Honestly, because like when you get this diagnosis that you've sort of heard of before, but you don't really know what it means. And, they're telling us all of this stuff like, okay, well, don't expect this and don't expect that, or he's never going to do this, never going to do that. And you sort of think like, my God, like it's a death sentence or something. Like, I mean, it really just feels whatever. And not having a reference point beyond Rain Man, because he wasn't counting cards or, I think it's important that we shine the light on both sides of the story in order to make it more realistic, because everybody's experiences are different, and I never want to invalidate what someone else is going through just because their experience doesn't line up with mine, and so I don't think it's ever always positive. I don't think it's ever always negative. I think it's sort of how we learn to experience all of these, moments along the path, and highlighting the victories, I think helps people, and no matter how big or small. I mean, we've celebrated some really, tiny victories before, but they kind of give you the strength to get back up and keep moving because it's a win.
So with the three boys, you've had a evolving significant village of support over the years. And so today, what does who are the type of people that are involved in their life who are supporting you and the boys? You don't have to give names, but just the type of different people that are supporting you and the boys right now.
Family.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, it's family is the big thing. With Gavin being an adult now, his village includes like the board of DD. It includes job coaches, and now he's got his first job. So I would imagine it would be some of the people that he works with would be part of his village. And the boys have, family and their own sort of circle of friends.
Yeah.
And the reason that I bring this up all the time is because parents feel guilty for feeling those things, because like somehow, their kid having an autism diagnosis precludes them from still having the annoying kid things that we all had when we were little. Exactly. I mean, I drove my parents crazy when I was a kid. My kids drive me crazy. It's like a rite of passage. And just because they're autistic doesn't mean that they don't do normal everyday kid stuff. So that's sort of that's been a lot of and self-care is the other big one.
But definitely giving yourself permission to feel the things that you feel. And I know you and I have talked about this in other conversations before, and I think it's so incredibly important for parents like us to hear it over and over again, because as you and I both well know, there are some communities out there, other parents, online communities, where there's just this overarching judgment that happens. And it's toxic. And, if you're listening and you're part of one of those communities and you're feeling like you're being judged, find a different community, because you do deserve the grace to feel the feelings that you feel. It's absolutely true.
I totally agree with you. And
all right. Well, thank you for joining us on this episode of the Village Vision podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights from our conversation today. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate, leave a review, share, all of those things. But thank you again for being part of the Village Vision podcast. Take care, and let's keep shining a light on the power of community, collaboration, and care.